So, by the time Argentina got to play England in a stadium packed with menacing-looking home fans, they were well hacked off.
Argentina take the field in that game, more concerned with the stitch-up than playing football, perhaps.
Leading them into battle was captain Antonio Ratan. Big man, bigger reputation. But unfortunately, his special style of tackling was often misunderstood. And so were his frequent polite chats to the referee.
Ratan is dicing with death. He's arguing with the referee.
Feeling persecuted because Argentina weren't allowed to play their usual filthy football, Ratan decided to have another word.
And Ratan's in trouble. He's off. Ratan goes off. Ratan is sent off.
With language problems between Ratan and the West German referee, no one could exactly work out what the sending off was actually for.
Didn't he shoot the Queen? No. Oh, I know, he stabbed Bobby Moore.
And they're all going to go off, I think. If Ratan goes, they'll all go.
So, thank heavens, co-commentator Jimmy Hill could tell us.
He must have been sent off for violence of the tongue, which is an Argentina equivalent of an Anglo-Saxon word.
Violence of the tongue, I must remember that one.
Taking it like a man, Ratan held the game up for a mere 8 minutes.
Well, they don't get this at Coventry City, do they, Jim?
Well, as a matter of fact, an Argentine team did once play a match at Coventry City, which ended at...
Yes, anyway. Finally, Ratan agreed to do one. And if you're still confused about why he had to go, it's simple, really.
Ratan got himself sent off because he was stupid.
England went on to thrash 10-man Argentina 1-0. And eventually win the trophy. And of course, the two nations would put this ill-tempered match behind them and use future World Cups to cement friendships.
Oh, no.
1970, and the World Cup is in Mexico, where the hosts will be party to the astonishing refereeing of Egyptian Ali Kandil.
It's just ridiculous. He hasn't got a clue. He doesn't know what to do.
Right to left.
Overseeing a group match between Mexico and El Salvador, the game is 0-0 and a minute from half-time, when ref Kandil blows for a free kick. Airily waving his hand in no particular direction, Mexico think it's theirs, and El Salvador think it's theirs.
And the linesman comes and kind of kicks it back, and it's one of those moments where nobody really knows what's happening.
And referee Kandil just seems pleased to let the first person who comes near it have a go.
A Mexican just appears from nowhere, picks up and goes, "We play on?" The referee goes, "Yeah, all right then."
El Salvador are raging, but they'll probably calm down as long as Mexico don't go and score from it.
The chance here for Borca.
Cue Mexicans celebrating and El Salvador going mental.
The referee is under terrible pressure from the Salvador players to disallow it.
All the El Salvador players assumed that the referee would blow up and say absolutely no way was that a goal, but he didn't.
They won't leave him alone.
Almost like the only way to communicate was via the medium of waving your arms. And the arms went this way, they went that way, they were like waving planes in.
Somebody will be in big trouble here soon.
Every time the ball was put on the centre spot, someone would kick it away, and it was like a 7-year-old's birthday party up the park, and the birthday boy was going to run away and take his ball at any minute.
Marioni there showed his disgust of the situation by booting the ball out. Salvador maintained they have been robbed.
Somehow sensing that El Salvador are a tad upset, the ref bolts for half-time. Surely all will be forgotten after a quick break and a couple of oranges. Well, as long as the Mexicans don't rub it in, of course.
There's a Mexican player, wearing a number 10 shirt, and his warm-up is like Torvill and Dean on ice. He'd sashay down this way, skip that way. There was little leaps. Was this just to go with the El Salvador players?
Probably, but even with this Mexican wind-up merchant, El Salvador will definitely calm down as long as they make a good start to the second half.
He certainly missed his shot. This is Valdivia has
Oh
made
dear.
it 2-0. Salvador can have no complaints about that goal.
They've got the ump back, haven't they? And so essentially they resorted to what is, you know, a tactic in South America. Let's kick him off the park.
But Candil, painfully aware that all his troubles began with a free kick, certainly won't risk giving any more.
Getting wild now. That was a wild kick and Perez is down.
And so the El Salvadorians award themselves free kicks on the Mexican players.
Octorio there crunching in.
Some of the El Salvador tackles in the second half were unbelievable. I would imagine Vinnie Jones watched that, and that's my blueprint for professional football.
That was a pretty crude tackle there, but he's letting it go on.
They got away with murder in the second half, and I think that probably was what was weighing on the ref's mind. A bit of murder.
Well, that looked like a foul tackle to me.
With the game now a let's kick the Mexican contest, Candil finally does give a free kick to El Salvador for a powder puff challenge on their keeper.
It was a travesty.
And there is the final whistle for the end of this game.
Despite the violence, the Mexicans won 4-0, but El Salvador had the better time. 1994 saw the World Cup arrive at the home of football. American football. Grabbing the chance of a few dollars more, FIFA took the beautiful game to the States, who put on a typically low-key spectacle.
Please welcome the world's most popular female performer, Whitney Houston, and the great Pele!
Thank you, Pele. What an idealistic tournament the bright, shiny razzmatazz seemed to promise, until the Americans faced Brazil in their first knockout game on July the 4th.
The game we saw yesterday. Clavijo and number 9 Ramos linking on that far side, and Ramos is dumped to the ground again. And he's riding in agony. It's a red card! It's a red card for Leonardo!
Well, I'd love to see that again. I didn't think he'd done that much wrong again. Maybe it's just my eyes from here, but it didn't look like such a bad challenge.
Keegan is like an old granddad, right, who sat next to you going, oh, didn't touch him, didn't touch him, no, didn't touch him, didn't get anywhere near him. I mean, it's preposterous. Here he is, excusing Leonardo from absolutely smashing the American's face with his elbow. And then he says, yes, but he did pull his shirt first.
I think he decided here that Leonardo's left elbow came out.
Yeah, but he's being held.
Right elbow. No, that's an elbow, though, isn't it?
Yes, but he's being fouled.
Yeah, but it doesn't excuse that, surely.
No, it doesn't.
He makes a complete, utter idiot of himself.
Yeah, I suppose he had to go, looking at the slow-mo.
Well, he's gone, that's for sure.
And Leonardo wasn't the only one making a controversial exit.
Maradona in disgrace and out of the World Cup.
He tested positive for drugs after Argentina's third group game against Nigeria.
After the game, Maradona and another Argentine were selected for a drug test. It would show that he had taken 5 banned drugs, including the stimulant ephedrine.
But why did they need a drug test? I can't think. Look at the Greece game after Maradona has scored.
Now Maradona! Oh!
First of all, I thought, fantastic goal, well done, brilliant, you know, he's still got it. And then he started running towards the camera, and I thought, he's not coming in here, is he?
He runs like a pig with a wasp up its arse. And the look on his face, he definitely had a case of the old LA hay fever.
And the look on his face says it all.
You don't need no test, just look at him.
The look in his eyes was the stare of a madman. You knew he was on something, because you can't naturally look like that.
Los quiero mucho, Tota, vos también.
But even Maradona's shameful exit would be overshadowed by a tragic chain of events that began during Colombia's match against the US.
Caligiuri desperate to get up on the outside. Offside!